that warning.
Sorry,
Okay.
guys.
Yeah.
We're back
So
online.
as I was talking
While you're still
about
talking.
the,
Um, yeah.
you
So
want,
there. So we're back online. Things should be starting up. So it's great to have you all back. The hearing is all back. So as we
yeah.
saw, we had a couple of the players on both teams hovering over Doomfist. We're not sure where we're going, where he'll fit in. And actually, as you were saying, it's interesting because he definitely seems more like a frontline DPS. But we'll just have to see how things go. I don't know if the teams will pick him, and if they do pick him, who he's going to replace.
Yeah, that's the thing. I started talking about the replacements right there. So as I said, the characters that are replaceable are Diva and Zenyatta. Right now on the one side, it's instead of a Zenyatta. On the other side, it's a complete mess because they also have a Reinhardt and a Zarya, and I don't see that being picked up actually. But there is a little possibility because it already happened in Group A. So yeah, that's the question. Do they go for that Doomfist? Do they just leave it out completely? Do they replace this and the other? Do they replace a DPS basically? Since apparently he's supposed to be a DPS, right? So I'm
He
really
is, he is, and this is the interesting thing. I don't actually think either team's completely set up because I don't really see it replacing Zenyatta. You definitely want that healing, but I don't know, maybe not. We're looking into the countdown now, so it'll be very interesting to see what ends up happening. You know that, yeah, there we go. We're back on the Zenyatta, and no one has taken it on the other side. So let's launch off. Who are we following? There we go, the initial clash. No one has taken it, so that's interesting. But I definitely understand where Mumbami has managed to take out Dante. So there's now less healing on the side of Netherlands. Two down on Netherlands, three down on Netherlands, and there we go. So Hensu just doing a lot of damage. He managed to get that fourth kill, so now they'll be capping the point once it unlocks in about a second. What's impressive is that they didn't actually lose a single person when doing that. Oh, it sounds like I might have lost my co-caster there. So as we can see, they're fighting quite intensely, and now this is the style that Vivis were employing last time we were on this map. You know, hyper aggressive. They capture the point, they push up, and they try to make sure force the other team to sit in the spawn. But I think the Netherlands are really too good to be doing it. So um, to allow that to happen, so it's a case of what is going to happen now. But the Netherlands are able to push out was actually holding on.
Barty has quite an interesting position right there and manages to get out of there. But two easy chases him down, interestingly enough. So yeah, that's going to be about it. 50% still ticking out there on the side of Vivis Adventure. They kicked off real strong, and also apparently something real funny happened for Yono out there. Not sure exactly what. Henzo though with the Dragon Blade, they got wiped out. It was so far into the respawn of the red team that they were all able to come back towards the point and not give it up at all and demolish the lineup of Team Netherlands again anyway.
Vivis have just been dominant this game this whole time, like so aggressive. They took those 4 kills as a start without losing anyone, and now they've just kept the Netherlands in spawn since then. Henzu's Genji, he seems to be taking offense at the fact that I was saying that Visility's Genji was great, and it's time to show me who's the better Genji.
Well, right now, Lolsish is going ham with his Winston right there. Livote also adding a little bit into the mix, and Livote overall with that Diva, he's going wild, but their self-destruct isn't really going to do too much. Too easy, about to be wiped out, and coming in from above north also wasn't the greatest idea, or actually emptied it up, and he's got enough speed to get out of the enemy's sight. But the first round belongs to Vivis Adventure, and Vivis Adventure has demolished Team Netherlands, like Team Netherlands did to Helsinki Red. So as you said, like this difference, the differences in the rankings of these teams are not so big, but you know, it's like a difference of going from a tier 2 into a tier 1.
Yeah, that was just a dominant performance between them. So I'm a little bit surprised. But as we've seen before, you know, Netherlands sometimes take a little bit of time to warm up, and I think VV just didn't give them any room to breathe. So it'll be interesting to see how this this goes.
Well, for now, we're setting up for a garden. We've not really seen any good Pharaoh Mercy just yet. Who are they? Decided to pick it up once, and it worked out for about like 30 seconds and then got shut down again. We didn't see a single Mercy res, if I'm not mistaken, back there either, so that's a little bit interesting. Mbati barely manages to escape death right there with the recall, but recalls straight into the middle of the fight. However, still survives, but he's losing people all over the place. Two supports have both gone down, Z-Core and FZZ for the Vivis Adventure, and they have to run away. They will give up the point first, so maybe the garden, just like it was against who are these, going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, it's definitely a better start for Netherlands right there. They got the first 2 kills and they managed to cap the point. Right now, we're watching, Henzu try to sneak around and get a few kills, and a lot of people are weak, so this is a prime opportunity for him if he's able to get the kills. But no, he's eliminated by Crusade. So 3 down on the side of Vivis Adventure.
Oh, Henzu in quite a bad, that facility in quite a bad spot right there, and he's going to be trying to escape death over and over and over again, but finally shut down by Mbati. Mort's in the middle of the point, and he goes down for the sound barrier, manages to get out of there, still has his diva right in the middle of the point, but now she gets out, Dante gets killed off to Mbati once again is on the hunt, finally finds his idea of game plan for this garden and singles out the really squishy targets, gets rid of them quickly, and right after they're able to wipe out the enemy team.
Yeah, look at that. That was an incredible play right there. It took out 5 people in a row and just taken over the point. It was 51%. Netherlands started to feel comfortable and get a little bit stronger, and then nope, Vivis Adventure just steps in and takes over. So it's interesting now to see how they're positioning. So they're not being as aggressive as they were in the previous map, more trying to hold the central area, take out Lucio's death right there is a pretty big hit. It's going to be hard for them to push up without any healing. And Mbati just jumping in and doing a lot of damage from behind.
And about the second map in a row right here actually pushes people down over the ledge over and over again, and it's, yeah, Facility going down to that push. It was Diva for like the 3rd time already on Lijiang Tower, so it must be really annoying to Team Netherlands. Although they were able to get the 50%, so they have a little bit of space here, even though they're not necessarily right. Enzo with the Dragon Blade, he's able to unleash it on just one person, but on the other side, he's not really able to get anybody down, so that's a clear difference in there. Self-destruct reaches one person, which is a little bit surprising because we lately aren't seeing too many kills with that ultimate. Crusade still continuing that crusade of his, and inside of Winston's barrier is able to not soak up any damage more. And there are the kills for the Netherlands with that good self-destruct start, but there's no assault on the point at all.
Absolutely. So we're seeing Lolsish again on this. His Winston is just causing a lot of pain for the other team, but once again, coordination from Vivis Adventure is on point. Even when they lose 1 or 2 members, they're able to reposition themselves in such a way that the numbers disadvantage isn't too painful for them and don't give up the point.
Primal Rage runs out, but for Facility it's not good news. He's actually not close without the ultimate, and that Winston sits on him. Mort tries to get into
4 dead, this is...
just dying. Leziona even tried to jump in, and he missed the jump, so it wouldn't necessarily help too much. So that's 2-0. Real Lijiang Tower is going straight into the hands of Vivis Adventure, and what we have left over is Route 66 and the Palm. So keep in mind that another King of the Kill might be imminent, and there might not even be any better.
Yeah, it's a little bit, I don't know, this is a bit surprising. I expected Netherlands to come out a little stronger. They actually would play better in the earlier matches. So the fact that they to contest this is a bit concerning. At the same time, potentially, maybe it is just Vivis are very comfortable on this map, so we'll just have to wait and see if they capture this, or maybe we're just getting ahead of ourselves, because last time we definitely saw Netherlands turn things around after a bit of it. And nice little duel here between Mambam and it looks like back of Brasility. He managed to get picked. Well, there we go. Brasility kills Hensu.
Yeah, without Henzu, it's going to be so much harder. But it's just one kill, actually. And the point is now open and is being taken by the Netherlands. No, they're not taking it just yet. Finally, grabbed it. And previously on Garden, they were able to build up to 50% at the end of the day. And turned out it wasn't useful at all. But it's always something that you can later count on. Elevote is out of his mecha. That's a little bit of a problem. But right after Crusade also loses his own. Into Elevote, actually. Oh, the boss mob reaches Lulsage somehow. But only after the fight. And with a team kill, I think it's only the second of the day, even. So.
And I think this is the thing that is so scary about Vivis, is that whilst the Netherlands are so strong and they start off with that capping the point and you think they've got a good setup, and then suddenly Vivis comes in and is able to team wipe up the other team, whilst they only lost Losses at the best. So it was a 1-for-6 straight.
So they both dead. No Eve, of course, they're gonna get wiped out again. 4% ticking on Vivi's adventure. They've all got 50 pretty much. Simply has the ultimate. Yona will have the Primal Rage coming up to Hante with Incent. So there's a possibility to solve the point now. Sound very wants to kill. They will have pretty much everything. If too easy to fight hard, you'll also have victory. This is now and Yona still. What's gonna die if we get stuck there? We're still trying. Clicking that Q button. And he'll still hands of BB's adventure, and it's already so close to ticking out.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm having a bit of lag, so it's a little hard to hear you at the moment, but that team fight was just really interesting to follow, because over the course of this, quite a long fight, but Netherlands ended up losing 5 players overall, whereas Vivis Adventures only lost 3, I think. So just this movement, and look at Lulsage on such low health, but able to just move back and forth. And survive for so long there on such a low amount of health. It's crazy, just the amount of chaos and kind of pressure that they're able to create. And it looks like, yep, they've capped it back on and we're at 80%.
Yeah, but it's interesting that it's not closed out yet with the death of, with the death of Yona right there. So late, I think it was let's break it. Drop the beat. Go and aggressive team or anybody be able to trigger the overtime. Yes, there was one person. What was that point? It's always Sage comes in, there's one up again, and there's something once again with the just sentence. You're asking me about this. If they so another selfish Sage is not a little unseen, but the open button just takes out the second if they actually get out of here. And there is a something to say. That explosion. The overtime would just take down, and there it goes.
Okay, so sorry. Apparently, it was Dominic that wasn't hearing. It wasn't just me. But what a dominant ending there. Vivis are just not letting up. This is so. Here we go. Henzu's Genji. It's a little bit tricky. Just so you guys know, chat's a little bit tricky sometimes. What a look at this play. But this is what we were talking about when that was that team wipe that was just insane. So Mumbani there, 42 eliminations, 28 defensive assists there. So this is really just quite a much better performance coming from Vivi's Adventure and a worse performance from Netherlands. But it is kind of continuing on the trend that we saw earlier on, that Vivis are just a cut above the rest of the teams here. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see whether Netherlands can turn this around on Route 66. It was a map that they performed quite well on, but they still lost it to Vivi's Adventure last time. So psychologically, this is a moment where you know, I'm sure that the players of Netherlands are professional players and that they're able to keep their head in the game. But this is do or die. So either they perform right now or it's going to be over.
Yeah, well, on the other hand, you have the professional players, as you mentioned, but on Vivis Adventure, you have the bullies of Europe, the online tournaments right now. So these guys know what to do. This is just another online tournament for them to take, but we do have LAN finals, so that'd be interesting to see them right there if they actually get out of this group victorious. But 1-0, strong start for sure. 3-0 on that Lijiang Tower, not giving an opportunity to NL. It's good.
Absolutely. So like so far, to be honest, both teams are very good. So they haven't given any opportunities to NL to kind of come out and do something. So I don't know. It was a little bit tough to see, but Mumbai definitely stepped up in the last match. It's one of those things again. I don't think Netherlands are playing bad, but Vivis are just playing that much better. All of the players are individually incredibly skilled and playing as a unit, and it's that's what it takes to kind of play the cut above. So we'll have to see how things go.
Oh man, and I can't wait. We still are waiting for Henzu a little bit. Maybe he's just getting ready, just watching this Doomfist tutorial or whatever, or maybe he's just polishing his Genji sword and getting ready to hop in to finish off and already be happy with the qualify for the playoffs. But yeah, that's quite an important match for Team Netherlands, and they really have to give their best. And we're so close last time, so why not just push through this time? At least one map, it would already be something, right? And they were so close to getting both the maps actually against Vivis Adventure last time.
Absolutely, and they've been challenging Vivi, so it's definitely testament to them at the level of play that they've been outputting. But it does seem like we have a tier S where Vivis is sitting, then a tier A where it's Netherlands and then the rest of the teams below. So we'll just have to wait and see, and hopefully they'll be able to put out a better performance this match and take us to game 3. But at the moment, I definitely be encouraging everyone to bet their betties on VVs at the moment.
Yeah, and also even if we get to that third map, then it's Nepal. After seeing Lijiang Tower, would you expect it to be much different? No, of course it's a different one with different aspects, and you can pull off different comps. I mean, Lijiang Tower, Far Mercy is very likely to actually show up, as you could see yesterday, but on Nepal, not so much. However, these teams are not playing with different heroes. It's just a standard comp. So if once, twice, 3 times and more, Vivi's Adventure just proved better on that standard comp, then I don't know if there's coming back from that.
Yeah, it is concerning, especially since they already played on this map and they lost. And the way Vivis were able to kind of take the lead in their first push was quite dominating. And it was a very exciting match, and the Netherlands weren't far behind, but ultimately they did lose. So now, whether they have the confidence to say, we nearly won, and a couple of things changing means that we win, then great. But if they, at the same time, turn around and be thinking like, shit, we've lost already, and I wonder if can we actually win this or not? So we'll have to see. I wonder, are they going to pick Doomfist? So Visility is hovering Doomfist. Epps is on Sombra. I'm not sure that these are serious, but yeah, no, they're not, unfortunately. We do have
Indeed, that Sombra is a good pick, and I think that it's gonna stay right there. He's gonna stick with it. Of course, he's already hacking the health pack. So yeah, as I mentioned, EbZZ, he's quite versatile. He can switch over from Zenyatta to Ana to Sombra, even play a little bit of DPS action. Works out fine.
Absolutely. I'm curious to see how Crusade does on his Reaper at the moment. So that will be interesting. But 2E's just kind of jumping out to quite a dominant little start here, putting out a lot of damage at the moment, getting behind the other team, and now we're back on Mumbani. And just had to step back a little bit from the pressure that the Netherlands are putting out.
This time it started off a little bit different because there was no big battle in the lower tunnels right there. They kicked off with just pushing the payload. Later on, transferred to the lower tunnel when the enemy team was already slightly wiped out. So it worked out perfectly fine. But still, Crusade did not really see a lot of action right there. his ultimate charge is at the lowest in his team and nearly at the lowest in the game, with only Elevote being below.
Yeah, but he was very nicely positioned just there to put out quite a lot of damage. It looked actually like Vivis were stepping back and letting them take the point, but no, then they regrouped and jumped in, so that would be interesting.
Well,
Let's have to wait and look. None of them is actually going to be able to do it.
So the EMP was ready right there for FZZ. That definitely was a big asset in this last team fight. However, getting wiped out already so early on is a little bit of a risk right here. Allowing the enemy team to grab the first point so quickly. The Netherlands, they just got crushed on Lijiang Tower. It is a duty for Vivis Adventure to keep them crushed right there, to keep their confidence to the lowest possible. But Yona and 2Easy are going ham again, and they're able to bring down 2 people from the enemy lineup. 2Easy and more continue it up, and they should be able to take the first point with it, or actually the contest from Mumbati. Soon enough, surely another person will show up right here, or actually no, they're abandoning the idea. So the first point belongs to Team Netherlands without too much struggling, really.
Yeah, no, but definitely. I mean, it looks like that was just a bit of a delayed team wipe there. Crusade was putting out a lot of damage with 2Easy, so this Reaper pick is paying off. Now we're looking at the team, so they're grouping around, and Vivi's Adventure is setting up with a few people in front to look a bit of chaos in this choke point, but Netherlands were prepared for traffic.
Wow, interesting enough, Death Blossom actually goes off and kills a Z-Car, but after such an EMP that silenced all 6 players of the Netherlands.
Look at that triple kill.
Wow, I'm surprised that it's actually working out for the Netherlands so well. I'm surprised that it was actually only just 1 single kill for Vivis Adventure. It's not even just a triple. Just before, with the Death Blossom, he was able to kill off Z-Core, so that's a quadruple kill for him combined. Crusade's pushing even further, and he'll be setting up a trap to catch somebody out with that Reaper of his, and I definitely am becoming a fan of this pick. Although,
yeah, I mean, that was a great pick. What I'm admiring is the way that they're using it. That they're not overusing it. They're understanding where it's strong and when they want to swap away. So Crusade has definitely been using this to great effect. They're pushing forward though now, so this is where it becomes tricky, because if they are unable to get those kills required to open up the map, they can very easily get stuck. Nice combination with 2Easy.
Elevote being able to bring one down with self-destruct, always pretty valuable. Z-Core then finishing off. Dante finishes this team fight. And 2 minutes 20 on the clock. And quite sure that the time bank that Team Netherlands have right now is not so big. Yes, they do possess one, but it's not going to be hard for Vivis Adventure to run it down if they just win 2 consecutive fights in a row, because this fight, I don't know if you noticed that pattern, that one team fights victorious for the Netherlands, then Vivis Adventure come back, and then the Netherlands matches again. So logically right now the Netherlands should be able to push through, but they're not for now. Lazish has got some good targets for himself. He doesn't get taken out with the pulse bomb, and will be continuing the fight, but he's being chased down by both Tracer and some supports out there, and flies away, but to his death only. Elevote also loses the mecha, so yeah, once again, Netherlands win a team fight right after they lost one. Now Vivis Adventure, will they be able to get their victorious team fight chimed in before the second point is taken? Because that will be crucial to having the time back completely thinned down.
Absolutely. So it's been really interesting. So Crusade, despite not dying, went back into spawn to swap to Diva, and I think that's what I was trying to highlight earlier. The way that he's been using the characters and the character swaps, I think, is very smart, and understanding when. More importantly, understanding when Reaper is no longer as effective, and then swapping him out. So that was Netherlands are definitely pushing quite nicely. This is the part where it's tough, and they struggle a little bit, but they're definitely pushing and challenging Vivi's Adventure in a nice way. So fingers crossed we'll be able to see them, and they'll continue on.
Lazish with a primal rage, or just Zodim comes in, and then he just comes to finish off the last guy standing on towards that payload, so that maybe it starts rolling back, and it is rolling back now. 20 seconds when they arrive right here, or maybe even less to win that team fight. Of course, if they win the team fight, they will get the second point on the overtime. They will get a little bit more time to get the third one. But I don't believe that they will be able to get this little amount of time. And the question is, can they even get the second? Because this is crucial, you see. If Netherlands don't manage to get that second point, they don't manage to push the payload to the gate, this might as well be over for them. Because I'm quite sure Vivi's adventure will push this far. Now the teamfight's going very well for the Netherlands. They swipe the enemies up again. Come on, why? Why can't anyone win 2 teamfights in a row?
It's definitely a tricky situation, but I think this is just the quality of the teams. It's hard to, once one team gets an advantage, the other team is quick to counter it and understand how to fight. So we have like Visility pushing forward. They managed to get through, and this is exactly how it went at the last time they matched up on this map. They had a little bit of a struggle, they stalled, but then they pushed through to the end. So now it's a question of like, are they able to turn this around?
Well, the blue team's coming in from behind, but there are a lot of ultimates on the other side. 1 minute though, and this payload is still not necessarily moving forward. A good pulse bomb from Mugati. Jonas going to lose his life without that. Winston is always much harder, while Lulz is performing very well. Though Dante jumps in with Transcendence, and alongside with Visility, Dragonflight, they're able to bring down Elevo. Dante kills off Mugati, and they were able to neutralize Lulz long enough until they finally had enough damage to kill him too. And Visility to kill off the counterpart Genji on the enemy team, and this way they push further. So that's actually 2 teamfights won in a row by the Netherlands. They break the curse a little bit, but still with the little amount of time that they have, it might still not be enough. They need the third one if they want to get the last one.
Absolutely, and this is the toughest part. This kind of final choke point is going to be incredibly hard for them to push through. But their performance so far shows that they might be able to now, but it is going to go into overtime, so we're going to have to wait and see. With everyone alive and not too many ultimates, it will be hard to see. So they've just traded, and I think a Zenyatta for a Genji is worth it, especially given the impact that Henry's had on the team. And 3 down now for Vivi's adventure. Great performances by Crusade. Yeah, I mean, Crusade has been such a monster this whole game. His performance on Reaper, I think, opened up the map in that initial section, then he swapped over to D.Va, and he's really pulling it through very nicely.
Yeah, the overtime still ticking, just a split seconds enough to end the first round right here, right now, but Facility's getting the kills again. Come on, they're doing it! They might just as well have this team fight already with a 5v3 situation. Another self-destruct comes through, and this is Elevo this time. Yona falls down to it. Too easy though, was hidden, and he's a very important asset right now. That soldier, he's charging up the ultimate. He's pretty close to having the tactical visor already. Dante will have the Transcendence. Another support ultimate is coming right up. It's on 90%, but Too Easy died right before the visor. 5% away from it, and then the respawns come through. The May even from Hensu, interestingly enough. They're able to put control over on the enemy team, but as I said, the sound barrier, the Transcenders right now, maybe Too Easy will join in, maybe he will have that visor. No! Just a split second that I was talking about. The overtime lasted way too long.
Yeah, that was a very long overtime, and I was watching it. Vivis were able to kind of rally at the end there and kill 1 or 2 members and just continually keep those few people down so that Netherlands weren't able to pull it together and get that final push. But that was a really exciting match and a great performance from Crusade on Reaper and D.Va. I really think that was where he shined. So it'll be interesting now to see how they hold it, whether they can hold off Vivi's adventure or if Vivi's can pull it out of the bag.
Oh, and this is now interesting because FZZ, is he falling back to the Zenyatta? Because he also decided once on the offense here to play the Ana, and in my opinion, it worked out very well. It was quite useful. And then now Crusade definitely cannot use the Reaper, and do they have a person that can play a Sombra because she's so important to shutting down the initial offenses from the enemy team? You could see how that EMP just cuts the payload's push halfway through, and it's just enough to thin down the time bank in so much that they have to run an overtime from point to point. That's why that Sombra is so important. And there she is. Dante is actually going to be playing her. And yeah, that's true. Dante also had a good Sombra. Although, is it as good as FZZ's?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. It's gonna be interesting to see Dante on this. I did think he would be the one to put it out of anyone on Netherlands team. So I don't know. We'll have to just wait and see. They're now setting up, and we're probably going to see that conflict at the starting. But FZZ has brought out the Doomfist. There we go. So I'm definitely gonna be swapping over to that on the thing. But this will be really exciting to see. Oh no, he's swapped back to Zenyatta. He's
Yeah,
just
but
teasing
what's
us, unfortunately.
more interesting is that Dante prefers the Sombra over Lucio. Their only support is Zenyatta, and I know how strong Morty is on Zenyatta, but Lucio is just tier 1 at the moment. You cannot leave him out. Morty instantly dies, so they have no healing right away. But Dante's charging up. 60% already facilities, also putting on the pressure. The payload's not being pushed at all, so somehow they lost their one and only healer right away, and they were able to brute their force through the lineup.
Well, it didn't seem to
of the
matter at
Dragons.
all for the Netherlands that they didn't have Lucio. You know, they lost one person, but they took out 4 people on the side of Vivis adventure. So that's pretty exciting.
EMP ready. Take a look at that. Dante jumps in and disables 4 people in there, but they're not really able to do much. He suicides at the same time. But there's Pulse Bomb, there's Crusade also finding the Mecha alone, unfortunately, but that allowed too easy to actually get that kill earlier. And, well, they're gonna get wiped out. And with it, okay, they will not push the payload all the way through. Winston's already approaching. They're gonna have the Genji and the Tracer in the lead. Dante's still staying on the Sombra, interestingly enough. I'm not sure if he'll have the EMP by the moment the next team fight happens. And if not, and if the enemies just push through, if that Sombra doesn't do anything, then it's useless. He should have just switched to another hero, so it's gonna be a huge test for him.
Absolutely, we're gonna have to just wait and see how things go. But yeah, Henzu's punching down. There we go. 3 down now on the side of Netherlands. So they're definitely pushing in. And Zekor and Henzu have been on fire for so long right now. I don't see how they're not going to capture this point.
Okay, they still stays on the Sombra. Let's see how long he decides to do that. By this moment, I think we'll not see a Sombra from Vivis Adventure on the defense anymore. A big team fight actually breaks out right in that little room next to the gate, but Lulsish once again leading the charge. He's just impeccable as the Winston, as we already mentioned, but the self-destruct right in his face is actually not going to take anybody down. Another mecha on Crusade's side, but he feels the pressure, cannot break through the barrier for instance. Crusade trying to break that barrier down, and Dante's going to finish off that kill. Mumbati, though, still working his way to finding more and more and more kills, and the EMP actually was used in the middle of a team fight where there was only really Dante doing any damage, so that's a problem.
Yeah, I was a bit disappointed there. I thought Sombra was actually in a very good position, and he was in a good position, but then he just got pincered, unfortunately, so he couldn't really do very much, but could have definitely turned it around. But looks like GVs are getting some good momentum here. Aren't struggling as hard against the Netherlands as they were the other way around, so it'll be interesting to see how things go. 3 down on Vivis Adventure at the moment, so this is an opportunity for Netherlands to kind of clear out, open up the map a bit and set themselves up to create that defense.
Dante destroyed on that Zenyatta of his by Lulsish, and Lulsish once again, he's just doing so much for the team. I think he got 3 kills already in this team fight alone, and he's doing it every single time, but it was a Tracer right on top of the payload. She got killed off by the other Tracer, Mumbati, once again. And well, the defense matrix, Elifo just standing in front of the Lucio, he doesn't give a crap, he just doesn't do much for him. And Henzu got down. Say finally self-destruct. He's also gonna clear out ports, so nobody triggers the contest on the payload, so that they can get the second one easily in 2 minutes. Just take less than time back.
That final bit there was way too easy. I definitely expected the Netherlands to create a bit more of a defense there, but they weren't able to, which was a shame because they killed about 4 people, so that was their opportunity to capitalize on that. Now though, this is a really tough time, and we're gonna have to just see how they do against it. Too easy on a really nice little flank to just do some damage and he can stay mobile. Potentially a really good bomb, but no, he wasn't able to finish anyone off. But he has made it up. compared to what's right there. Henzu's ultimate actually wasted slightly, whereas Facility seems to be doing much more damage.
Yeah, that's quite big. Both Dragon Blades used at the same time, and Facility is able to overpower Hanzo. That very rarely happened before. And that
Yeah.
definitely gives them a victorious team, but it's still 3 minutes remaining, and it's still going to be tough to really prevent the Vivis adventure from having a better time.
Another really good stick there from Too Easy, so he's getting some really good kind of flanks, dropping the pulse bomb. Here we go, Crusade with his mecha when it's going to work out. No, nothing huge. So right now they're just trading one kill at a time, a little bit of poking, but no one seems to be getting a big advantage yet.
Both Hellboat and Crusade throwing out their mechas, but they're not really getting these kills that they wanted to. Not even zoning the enemies too much because they had some close fortifies where they could just hide with just 2 single side steps. And actually, that payload is getting dangerously close. They still have 2 minutes out there. Just they don't even need to have a good time back. They need to push it through. That's it. It was a 3-2 situation. Elephant is getting the Crusade. Take it down.
It is so close to the point right now.
Yeah, Lolis Shell once again going ham, but it's not down by 2. As you mentioned, Pulse Bomb always there.
Yeah, so do we have a crazy PowerPoint? It's so close to the point. It was watching how the positioning of Vivi's Adventures was just much stronger than Netherlands, but this was exactly where the Netherlands were last time, and they weren't able to capture it. So we're holding out. There's only 1 down on Netherlands, was 4 down on Vivi's Adventure. So as I said, it's these sorts of opportunities where Netherlands need to capitalize and position themselves well. So this is what they're doing. We can see that some of the team are moving on the left, 4 in the middle, and we have Facility here on the top. Yeah, there you go. You guys can now see it. So they're setting up nicely around the rest of the group. Ultimates, though, are limited, so we only have Mombati's and Mort on either side of the team, but they are slowly trying to build them up. Too Easy just got his. Mombati just looking for that ideal flank, whereas Henzu is just in the middle there and going toe-to-toe against the Tracer, but she runs away. So this conflict, the payload is moving backwards, but just not. No one is able to really get the advantage there. They need to push forward.
This is not a good beginning of the team fight for Vivi's Adventure, so they're not going to be able to push it through this time for sure. And as I was supposed to say, they will have 2 more attempts. So 1 attempt wasted. This is going to be the last one, and they better give their all. This time, Lulstich is not told at all, so he'll be with the team when they come in. That might make the crucial difference. Crusade's got self-destruct. It could be important when the overtime kicks in, so that he clears out the area and then nobody will be able to stay on it and it turns out. But the ultimates are real close for the attacking team. That could be dangerous. No! This is not a good use of that self-destruct, actually, in my opinion. And Crusade is taking it right now. He's also trying to work up as much as possible. There's the self-destruct. It's much better from the other side. Hento, the Dragon Blade also cleaning people up. Dante has the Transcendence just in time.
This is really intense at the moment. We're fighting on a knife's edge. Netherlands are doing an incredible job at setting up and fixing their mistakes and holding off Vivi's Adventure, but this is what we need to be careful, because otherwise Vivi's will be jumping in. Right now we have 2 dead on either side, and there we go. The Netherlands pull it out.
Oh, what?
What a close match.
And this is crazy with how this team fight started. Vivi's Adventure really had the upper hand. They had the kills, they had the ultimates. Somehow they were not able to push it a meter further even. Not to mention getting the point right there. So this is real surprising. With the 4 minutes walking into the garage, I really thought they would have it.
Definitely, and you know, right before they walked into the garage, look at this play. Right before they walked into the garage, Netherlands had actually killed about 4 people on Vivi's team, and I expected them to be able to set up and hold them out there, but they then suddenly got nearly wiped. They had to push back in, but at that point they did what needed to be done, which was really good. So
now Nepal is waiting us. It's 1-1 in the grand finals. It's actually the only match today that will go into 3 maps, interestingly enough, with all these great teams out there. Most of the matches ended, like all of the matches ended with a 2-0 scoreline, which is interesting.
Absolutely. And this was the Netherlands that we wanted to see because we saw the individual performances from each member throughout the day. Never was seeing them kind of pulling it together and challenging Vivis in their previous game, and the other teams weren't good enough to really challenge. I think the Netherlands to a point where we could see it. So they've now pulled together, and we're getting that coordination that they need to have as a team to be able to do these sorts of defenses that Vivi aren't able to just overwhelm through their natural abilities and their better coordinations.
Yeah, wow. Like, interestingly enough, not being able to win that Route 66 with having everything they needed to seal the deal right there. But I mean, maybe it's just the tenacity that the Netherlands have right there. Whenever it's so close to actually going down, they refuse to do it, and they just give their 120% instead to take the map home. And it's 1-1. So for now, I think that they will not have regrets, at least. They didn't get stomped by any means. They won the Route 66. They picked up a good fight. Lijiang Tower is something they have to forget right now and just get into Nepal. Like
it happens, and every team, like, this is why we have a pick ban phase. Every team has some weaker maps. Every team has some stronger maps. So it looks like Vivi's map pool, they're very strong on Lijiang Tower, so it's something for the other opponents to maybe learn, or maybe it will be something for them to look at Netherlands and think maybe that's not where they're strongest. But actually, looking back at the previous match, I really want to highlight Crusade's play because I think he was possibly the MVP of this series, of that match for Netherlands. He really stepped it up and he unlocked multiple areas that allowed them to kind of push through. And near the end there, he was just quite a solid rock with his diva, pushing back, allowing the defense and so on. Too Easy and Facility are obviously the other two players that jump to mind, but particularly Facility, who I feel throughout this whole tournament has been incredibly consistent and very strong. Dante also, like, I'm just singing everyone's praises, but I think Dante's Sombra at the start was also really good. So it's nice to see all of the individual players stepping up at the same time and working together to kind of launch each other even higher and take that sort of win.
Yeah, there is, that's definitely true with the Dante Sombra, and still we have to kind of leave that behind because right here I think that the biggest regret for Helsinki Reds is that lack of the diva, and right now nobody's going to get rid of the diva, nobody's really going to get rid of the support because you really need their ultimates on points. But then, yeah, that's true. You can actually go for a Sombra to disable everybody on point. That can make the battle much easier, but I just don't really see that happening. Nobody's really going to want to risk it right now, let me tell you that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a bit of a tricky question at the moment where, so we have them hovering Doomfist again. We have Facility using it in Last Dish. I don't believe them. I'm not falling for it again, but God, I'd love it. It would be great to see it.
Yeah, it's just not happening, really.
It's interesting, though, because I'm not entirely sure where they would fit it into the team fight. But here we go. Look at that. Just running around with that shiny arm.
Yeah. Not really, so that's going to be back to the Genji.
I think the issue is at the moment with Doomfist is that they're not entirely sure where they would fit it in and how they would make it work out.
Yeah, safe for me. That's why I don't want to see it. Yona is going to open it up, though, with an offensive kill, as always, with that Winston of his. But where is, in that situation, Lolsage, who's been so dominant? He gets the frag on Mortar finally, and then they just lay down the law. Everybody's falling down in the enemy lineup. And
yeah, there were about 3 or 4 people who went down there on the Netherlands, and Vivi's Adventure taking control, and now they're cracking the point. And this is, again, one of those situations where we're worrying about what's going to happen. It's our Vivi's just about to take over, and that's it. We're not going to see anything else anymore. So the teams have captured the middle point, and they're respawning and kind of resetting up now. So Netherlands are getting nicely positioned so that they can all jump in together as a team. without exposing themselves too much.
Fish is going to try to chase down Yona right there and manages to do that very efficiently. Nobody even helping out Yona, which is kind of a suicidal mission right there. Jumping in as a Winston alone, no one helps you, no one sees you, no one is even next to you, and they just want to delay Crusade as much as possible. When they manage to make it, Zikor pushing him further makes him die later. Although it is just 1 second, it's just so annoying when you are the falling guy.
Absolutely, we'll just have to wait and see how things go. Right now, Hens is pushing the damage, trying to funnel. But this is what Vivis loves to do. They love to capture the point and then suddenly push in with the aggression. They don't want to sit back. They want to make sure that the other people are, the other team is struggling to get past them to get onto the point.
Once again tracked down, if not by Lolsage, then by Mombati. Everybody's just focused on him so much. The Lucio going down means the end of the fight pretty much. Picking up the soldier out there, but too easy, cannot really do even anything with him. Just gets chased back to his respawn. But when the visor comes up, then maybe something will happen. But Dante and Facility, these are the only ultimates out there for now. Primal Rage comes up too, but is it going to be enough to overpower Vivis' adventure? Will now seem invincible.
Yeah, well, I mean, Vivis haven't given them any room to breathe, really, and so they're trying to contest the point at the moment. We're going into overtime, but I just don't see it. You know, well, there we go, 4 people dead. Oh, wow, okay, so we might have it a turnaround. And if this does happen, we've definitely seen it happen in pro play where 99% and then the other team captures it and there's a complete loss. So we could see something happen here. Vivis Adventure trying to create a nice little flank around. We have Mbadi on the point right now, actually trying to recap it. And it looks like a lot of Netherlands weren't really paying attention to that. So Mbadi was able to get basically 2/3 of a capture point there and create a lot of chaos before they were able to realize it. But Netherlands were able to react accordingly and take out about 3 or 4 players.
Yeah, that was quite an idea, but it didn't seem to really make any kind of difference. Mombati, though, has his pulse bomb, so maybe it's going to be better if he sticks with the team for a team fight rather than just goes for some first actions. Lolsish trying to chase down a support, but he's not able to do that. They lose Henzu in the meantime, and that's a bit of a problem since he lost his Dragon Blade too. Mombati out there, and oh my goodness, they're crushing them again! Even without Henzu out there, everything's possible for him. Mombati finally uses the pulse bomb, and there's only Dante around the corner. On that, not okay.
Best round 1.
That was a very good push at the end there. I actually thought the Netherlands had that point captured and were going to hold it, but just a creative kind of push in from the flank and splitting the Netherlands up into two teams of 3. Eliminating 3 of them and then pushing and securing the power point. So, yeah, that was interesting to see. We'll now just have to wait, and I wonder what's going to happen at this point here. Unfortunately, stream, it looks like we won't be getting a Doomfist. Which to be honest, as much as I was hoping for it, I can't say I'm surprised.
Yeah, hoping is the right word, but if someone really was expecting it, then I'm surprised. But yeah, that's just the thing. The people from the teams didn't really have the time to actually test it out in comms. I mean, you can play it on PTR, sure, but if you can't test it in scrims, then it means nothing completely. All right.
Yeah, I mean, he's a very aggressive champion. I know that much from him, and you could see him fitting into the area where there's D.Va, but without the defensive capabilities of D.Va, so it becomes or the mobility of the aggressive kind of Traces and Genji. So it is very tricky there.
Well, Dante actually grabs the first kill, so the Netherlands are slightly coming out on top, I wanted to say, but Dante right after has fallen. Lolsish continuing the attack at Elephant, completely unstoppable, and that soldier, he's not even receiving the damage, still shooting them down.
Lolsish has been such a monster on this Winston and such a rock for the team throughout the whole tournament. Just coming up clutch whenever they need it and creating these openings or getting a few kills and doing the damage that weren't expected.
Here we are, Yona, Facility. They're trying to do something finally. Something more than just one kill from Dante is going to be very much worth it. FDZ flying on Facility though, and Facility has gone way too far. He had no support out there. He's hidden in the corner. Nobody could send him a Harmony Orb or whatever. No healing out there, but too easy. Can now reach them with his machine gun, and he's just gonna be able to capture the point with the team. And a killing target. Point blank and Zeke are also taking his life away. Yona with the primal rage hops in and cleans up the enemies. Enzu's gonna fall to his death while Mombati got the kill on Yona finally, so that would be the signal to actually go in. But without the Genji, they cannot do much.
Yeah, well, they've set up quite nicely there, so on the point, so they managed to capture it, and they didn't allow Vivis to get too far ahead, so they've got that 25% to 40% at the moment. Not that the team has too many, but here we have a Transcendence and a push-out from Vivis Adventure to kind of recapture the point and not give any opportunity for the Netherlands to breathe, but Netherlands have countered that quite nicely, so currently it's 2 deaths, actually 3 deaths now on the Netherlands. We have to wait and see. Vivis taking. Yeah, it looks like Vivis are putting a really nice amount of aggression on, and will they be taking the point now?
Yona barely managing to hold himself on the platform right there, but still gets cut down by Henzu right after, and this is going to be the point taken over by Vivis indeed. But it has taken them a little bit of time. Overall, I think the beginning of this fight was pretty bad. Rumbati wanted to kill off the Zenyatta, and he stuck the pulse bomb on him, but that forced out a Transcendence, and a very good one, because they kicked off the team fight with that. They thought the Zenyatta was going to be dead, and he soaked up all the damage. Absolutely,
and Lucio Soundwave as well. So now the way that they're pushing up is definitely going to be interesting to see. The damage again coming out of Jonah here, very nicely done and taking out EPZ. 4 people down, 5 it was just a second ago from Vivi's Adventure. So could the Netherlands, yeah, and they're doing it. They're kind of equalizing, and they're about to take the lead now. They're set up nicely on the right hand side here, with Visility taking a lot of creating a distraction to give Crusade the opportunity to create some damage from behind. We're having a big team push from Team Vivi, and they're able to get 2 kills.
Well, for now, Vivi's Adventure are starting to overpower the Transcendence, and FZZ with a smart move. Some people might be afraid to do that, jumps over to the point when the team needs him. And now we'll
some great back and forth, the way the point has been going back between the 2 teams, and Netherlands team fighting has really stepped up a lot in their coordination to react and to Vivi's Adventures team aggression. But look at this aggressive jump in.
Mumbati jumps in as the visor is launched by Too Easy from behind. Nobody was expecting that. I was talking about it. Look at his position. The flank was just huge. And now, no chance for the D.Va to survive. And it's at 99%. They can trigger the overtime, but can they hold it? I don't think so.
That's it.
Gets knocked down. Okay, Morton jumps in still. There might be another person. Yes, Yona is joining in. Or actually, they block him off. This is it. 2-0.
There we go. That was such a great flank there, and that's the coordination we're talking about. Vivi's Adventure that they had in such a way that they're able to time their pushes and aggressions in such a way that it's coming from multiple directions, and Netherlands aren't quick enough to react and defeat it. So this will be interesting to see how it goes on. So here we go. Now it's do or die time for Netherlands.
Oh, it's do or die time for 3 rounds in a row if they actually want to take this map. It's gonna be real tough, real hard. I don't know how you actually feel in a situation like this, but they've got to be really strong psychologically.
Absolutely, but as we talked about, like they're competing on the world stage as well. So I have no doubt that they have that mental stability to be able to, and fortitude to be able to do so. I think this map plays well to their strength and the individual domination that they're able to kind of pull out. Like this sort of stuff where they look at Visility getting behind and just racking up the kills there. 2 down on the side, 3 down now on the side of Vivi's Adventure, with 1 down, where only 1 person was down. Is this going to be no Henzu turning it around and out dueling Visility?
But actually they chase away the Tracer. So even though they were able to turn around a little bit with the kills, it's still the Netherlands that take it over first. And yeah, the respawns start to come through, so it's going to be hard to take it back. Gunner wants to really hold on to this point, wants to contest it as much as possible. Even the 20%, it just gives them more and more time later on to try and figure something out for the up-and-coming team fights. And indeed, they once again contested, and again, Facility is in the back, and he's trying to deflect as much damage as possible, but he's receiving the damage from behind, and that's not a good thing for sure on the Genji.
No, look at Mumbati's like damage here. He's following the Winston around, and there we go. They've taken out 5 people from Team Netherlands, capturing the point and setting up in such a way that and we can already see Mumbati setting himself up in such a way that he's looking to get the flank. Oh no, he's going back into the middle.
Oh yeah, Mumbati is definitely going to be looking for these opportunities, but they cannot be too obvious, so sometimes you just got to let go. And he needs to charge up as much of his ultimate as possible. He's on 60% right now, so there's no hope to have it in just a moment. He's going to have to really work it over. And Mort in the middle of the team fight, healing up a lot with his Lucio. And yeah, the percentage is ticking right now. It is Vivi's Adventures time.
We just have a nice little duo with Facility jumping in and out and doing a lot of damage on the point right now with too easy at currently, and then trying to clear them out. But wow, that was quite a Crusade's ultimate. That was.
And a missed pulse bomb right there from the Tracer, from Blue Tracer actually, from Too Easy. He did not kill Little Fish off. Little Fish was able to get out of there. And that's a little bit of a waste. It's definitely going to affect the up-and-coming team fight, but these teams are quite toe-to-toe on the Shrine in here. And that's interesting because in the 2 previous points was not necessarily the case.
That seemed to be a bit of a wasted ultimate coming out of it was Crusade, but he seems to be holding the point. So Vivi's aggression here isn't exactly being productive, just because we're going 3 for 3, and it's definitely. Oh, they managed to grab the point now.
Another not only missed ultimate from a Tracer, this time from the other side. Mumbati committed suicide with his ultimate not even dealing any damage to the enemy. So, ouch, that's not so good. And they had a very successful team fight and they weren't able to take the point over. Maybe because of that little blooper. But it matters so much right now. 90% already there. There's a sound barrier, and the upper hand is over for the Netherlands for sure. Too easy getting a kill on Losish. Jonah is going to take down Henzu, and they're losing more and more and more. So, Vivis Adventure, they have to prepare themselves to actually lose 1 point at the top.
Yeah, look at that. What a great performance from Team Netherlands. Never giving up and just continually pushing and meeting the aggression coming from Vivi's Adventure full on with a more coordinated defense. And there we go. They managed to grab it and stop the loss.
All right. 2-1, but we're back to Village right now, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's Village, and then Sanctum possibly again. Yeah, for Vivi's Adventure, it's not so easy anymore.
No.
But also, it's not like Team Netherlands got much closer to a victory. They can start being happy when they win Village, because it's all about this point. This is where they got crushed.
I think I've always been of the opinion that it's one step at a time. It's one match at a time. Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get behind yourself. You know, if you need to win 3, you just need to win 1, and then the next one, and the next one, and it's just break it down into easy, achievable steps. But look at this aggression from Facility, and 3 down though. It doesn't pay off. Netherlands have been taken out, and Vivi's Adventure seem to be coming out, but we'll have to wait and see.
Mumbati going in, and the Swift Strike from Henzu, it just cleans everybody up, and they really split the kills. There was only one single person that got an elimination aside from them.
Yeah, so here we go. The team's setting up again. Vivi's Adventure have captured the point, and Netherlands are looking to make a coordinated push on the side and the top end. You can see the chaos. They're using the room to kind of as cover to soak up a lot of damage whilst putting out as much as they can.
And about
Good use of the heal from Soldier 76 there, actually.
Leopard lost the mecha, but was able to survive way too long out there, and then bring down the mecha of the other diva. And even though Team Netherlands started winning the team fight, they weren't able to break through. They're not even close to the point, so not even talking about the cap right there. Yona with the kill on FCZ though, and Facility, I think he was the one to unleash the Dragon Blade. That's true. Henzu
Yes,
still
he
got
was,
it,
and he
so
got 2 kills with it, but he's not able to get the third one. And so this sort of aggression is able to crack open, it looks like Vivi's defense, and they're going to take the point now. So 53% for Vivi's adventure, but we are holding on to see whether Netherlands, because this is exactly how they have managed to do it previously, but we'll see.
Oh, there we go. Once again, the Tracer trying to diversify it a little bit so that the enemy gets a little bit confused. And yet they have to spread all over the map. Henzu from behind, Mumbati coming in from the flank, and all the rest are from the houses area. And Elephant will get the kill on 2 easy. Very important because the tactical visor was already triggered, so limited it completely. The ultimate was wasted. Right now the primal rages are raging all over the battlefield, and Yona actually is coming out on top of it all. He's getting a kill for himself, helped out by 2 more eliminations from his team, and they will hold on to the point. It was real close to being capped by the red team, but not quite there. And BB will have...
Absolutely. Soldier, 2 Easy's ultimate with Soldier was close. It didn't get any kills, but it managed to get a couple of people very low, and the rest of his team was able to capitalize on it. But they've now taken over and gotten the lead. And at this point, it looks like if Vivi's push at the moment doesn't take control of the point, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this. It seems to be kind of the moment of the match, and Facility now has his ultimate, but he's actually just been taken out.
Okay, so we're starting to work out for Vivis Adventure right here, but actually Yona jumped into the back line, but it was not a surprise. He just jumped straight at their faces into the back line, and he was spotted out by many people. He was being attacked by many people. He got no healing. There was a transcendence on the enemy team, but they were not able to bring him down. This team fight could have been over much earlier, but they still got him down as the first guy a little bit later. It worked out for BB's Adventure, but I would be really disappointed if they didn't kill him at the end in the long run and still lost it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So now we have this situation where Vivis have managed to secure it, and it's just a tables have flipped. So they're about to grab the point, the lead. Yep, they just took it now. But the question is, can Netherlands actually counter their own defense at what was being done to them? But they're definitely creating a lot of friction in the middle there. But the danger is if they end up getting wiped here, that would...
Dragon Blade from Henzu. He's cutting down 2 easy right there, and once again shutting down the
3
visor.
down. Oh my god! But Crusade coming clutch and killing 2.
Yeah, that's a very big self-destruct over there. But actually, I still think that the Dragon Blade was so much bigger, and they hold on to it. Oh, and there's a strike from Vicinity. A little bit of a clutch. But is there anybody in the vicinity? Actually, still, yeah, extended. Not really. That's gonna be 3-1. That's gonna be the victory in Group B for BB's Adventure over the Netherlands. This time a little bit closer, but still on the King of the Hills, they were the ones to dominate, right?
There you go, guys. This is the way if you want to get play the game. Just gotta.
It's the second time with a tactical visor shot back.
Look at that, and that was it. That was the play that won them the match. 42 eliminations, 49% participation on Henzu. That's excellent. What a great game. What a great series, actually. That really, the Netherlands and Vivi's Adventure gave us a number of like 5 great games. Even the first 2 where it was 2-0, you know, I think were really exciting to watch. So that was a shame no Doomfist, but regardless, it was still... We'll probably see him next week when we have the next 2 group stages, or at least at the semi-finals. I wouldn't be surprised. But that was a very exciting match. I'm not surprised that VB's won it, but I'm very glad that the Netherlands were able to pull it in and get it a bit closer than it was initially. So since you covered yesterday's match, now we have VB's Adventure here and we have ENCE yesterday. Who do you think?
Overall, the level of this group has been much higher than the previous one, although I liked something much better about the Group A than here. is that we saw a much greater variety of heroes. We had a lot of teams running the farm mercy comps. We had a lot of Widowmakers. We had Hanzos at the start and to try and scout out a little bit of stuff, and so on and so on. So maybe in Group A they would have picked Doomfist, but right here everybody was just serious business in the standard comps, and that's what backfired on Helsinki Red, because they were not able to handle the standard meta comp on the King of the Hill, unfortunately. But yeah, in my opinion, it probably will be Vivi's Adventure. I mean, they are the kings of the online European tournaments for some reason, and they've not been taken out for quite a bit of time lately. They only have victories on the recent matches, so I believe for now, Vivi's Adventure will be the favorites.
Absolutely, I'd probably agree with you from what I saw from yesterday. I think Ensign were very good, but I can tell you why. We've seen it today why VVs are dominating a lot of the European scene is that they're incredibly aggressive, and once you give them a slight advantage, they really push it much further and don't give the other team room to breathe, which is it's a real skill to learn how to deal with online. And professionally, I guess, is to deal with that pressure and not to play reactively, but to play your game. So you've got to understand that whilst the other team is trying to create a lot of chaos and trying to make you react to what they're doing, you need to be able to take that step back, regroup as a team, and then push back out in a manner that is what you want to do as opposed to what the other team wants to do. This is really what Vivi's Adventure is great at doing, is forcing the other team to play the way that they want to play.
Yeah, that's the thing. But that also is the thing that caught them off guard a little bit in a match earlier when they played a different team. Just this chaos kind of has thrown them off guard. And yeah, that's the thing. If you are a control freak, if you are winning by controlling the games, then a team that doesn't make sense can easily catch you off guard. So they have to be careful about that for the future.
Absolutely, I think that they definitely do, and I think they'll be following the next few group stages to see who they'll be matching up against. But for now, they've impressed me a lot, and I think they definitely are the team to watch for the whole tournament. I wouldn't be surprised if they went the distance. You can see on screen that we have Group C and Group D. Obviously, we have a few kind of established teams there, so that will be interesting to see how they perform next week.
Yep, but that's coming in just a little bit of time, so we'll have some time to prepare for that. And as you
Yeah.
said, the teams will have the time to test out what Doomfist may be. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to the future groups. But for this week, it is over. But the giveaway for the Razer Overwatch gear is closing on Friday, which is tomorrow. So you can still take part in that. You can win yourself an Overwatch keyboard, Overwatch headset, and a mouse. So I guess I think that is amazing. I would love to have one myself. So make sure to check this one out too.
Absolutely, it's definitely worth it. So, from the team over here at ELC, from me and Nero, it's been a pleasure, Nero. Thanks a lot to everyone who's been watching. Chat, it's been great watching you guys read and bully our observer. I thought he did okay, but don't be too mean to him. But thank you from everyone here. Thanks for some great games, teams, and we'll see you soon.